Dear students, I am sure in all your life you must have heard the phrase, a thing of beauty is a joy forever. Now we will study the origin of this phrase, the poem A Thing of Beauty by John Keats. Let's study first something about the poet. John Keats was one of the most famous romantic poets. He was the second generation of romantic poets, and his contemporary was Percy Bysshe Shelley. I am sure you must have read poems from him also. He is one of the most beloved and most read poets ever, and his poems have been analyzed and criticized and summarized everywhere in the world. He was a doctor, a medical practitioner, but he chose to become a poet and he left the practice. He died very young at the age of 26, and he had started writing only at the age of 18, so he roughly wrote for 7 to 8 years only. And his famous poems include the odes and the epics that he wrote, as well as the letters which he wrote. Now coming to the background of this poem, A Thing of Beauty, it is taken from a bigger poem, an epic of Endymion. It is a Greek mythological story which has been put in an epic form by Keats. It tells us about the handsome youth who lived and who loved goddess Moon, the moon goddess, Cynthia, Diana, Selene. She is known by many names, and he was cursed by the god Zeus, Greek god Zeus, for an eternal sleep because he was so beautiful. Some traditions also believe that it was goddess Diana who made Zeus curse him for eternal sleep so that she could go and visit him in his sleep every day. And since then, this has been the story. But now in this poem, in his dreams, Endymion goes in search for Diana, and this poem shows his love for Diana, not the otherwise. And here this excerpt describes his thoughts. Now you must be wondering what is romantic poets and what is romanticism. Romanticism was it was an age in which most work was about this, that was investing objects, simple normal objects with larger than life attributes and making them beautiful. A whole age was given this name around late 1700s to early 1800s, and we will see that maximum poets wrote in this genre. Let's read the poem first. A Thing of Beauty by John Keats. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. Its loveliness increases. It will never pass into nothingness, but will keep a bar quiet for us and asleep, full of sweet dreams and health and quiet breathing. Therefore, on every morrow are we wreathing a flowery band to bind us to the earth. Spite of despondence, of the inhuman dearth of noble natures, of the gloomy days, of all the unhealthily and over-darkened ways made for our searching. Yes, in spite of all, some shape of beauty moves away the pall from our dark spirits, such the sun, the moon, trees old and young sprouting a shady boon, for simple sheep, and such are daffodils with the green world they live in, and clear rills that for themselves a cooling covert make. Gaze the hot season, the mid-forest brake, rich with sparkling of fair musk rose blooms, and such too is the grandeur of dooms we have imagined for the mighty dead. All lovely tales that we have heard or read, an endless fountain of immortal drink, pouring unto us from the heavens' brink. As is evident, Keats is romanticizing beauty, and both natural and spiritual beauty, and the ability of beauty to transform our lives. Let's first do a quick summary of the poem. The poet says that the thing of beauty brings us everlasting joy. Its loveliness never decreases. It will always keep in our mind. It will give us everlasting joy and fun. It never fades, and it gives us rest, sleep, health and relaxation. And we have good dreams and thoughts when we lie down at the end of the day. And the next day, every morning, we weave these beautiful things in a band of flowers, these beautiful things around us that we see, the earthly beauty, in a band of beautiful flowers around us, so that we are able to keep ourselves happy. In spite of the bad things, the callous people, the insensitive things that happen around us, the sorrows and the grief that we face, we are able to keep ourselves bounded to the earth. We are able to live hopefully, otherwise we would have been hopeless. And he says, next he says that a thing of beauty helps us remove these unhappiness and dark clouds. And this bond keeps us, this band, the flowery band, keeps us bound to the earth. Then he says that there are many beautiful things around us. We can find beauty in almost everything. The sun, the moon, the trees, the rivers, the trills, the beautiful daffodil flowers, the simple sheep, and even the heroic tales that we build around our heroes and legends. They keep us inspired, they keep us happy, and they keep us going. Then he says that this earthly beauty is also enhanced by the spiritual beauty that we all have, and that beauty is everlasting, and it is like a fountain of the immortal drink from the heavens that we are given, the spiritual beauty that we experience. That is all about the poem. Let's study the theme of the poem. The theme is beauty, as simple as that, both earthly and spiritual beauty, but how it transforms our lives, how it helps us keep on living with hope and happiness. The structure of the poem, it is written in iambic pentameter with rhyming couplets. The scheme is AABB. The message that the poet wants to give us is very important. He says that beauty and beautiful things can transform our life. They dispel negativity, they help us breathe easy and sleep, they keep us healthy, and beauty is everywhere. We just have to find it and we have to understand. And beauty is not just earthly beauty in the things that we see, physical beauty, but the spiritual beauty, the love and the faith in God is also a part of beauty. That beauty actually keeps us going. There are metaphors used in the poem. The fountain in heaven, that is the spiritual beauty, and the flowery band is the earthly beauty. Then the mighty dead, the tales of the mighty dead and the grandeurs of doom are the tales of bravery and sacrifices that we have been hearing all our lives. There is beautiful imagery, that is beautiful pictures are being built in the poem that you can understand. The poet is creating pictures for you, from like the shady boon and the flowery band, the clear rills, the cooling coverts. These bring a beautiful image to our mind of beautiful, lovely things. And Keats was an advocate of aesthetics in beauty. That is, he says that universal beauty is above itself and time, and that is what keeps us going.